Good evening. I am back out at the farm tonight, and it is super windy, so we'll see how well my microphone does here. My parts came for the planter, so that's why I came out here tonight. I'm going to go grab the planter, back it in the shop, close the door down as much as I can to try and mitigate the wind, and uh, we can't. We're waiting on spray. We're waiting for the co-op to come out and spray 32 in pre-emerge so I can incorporate that. And it was way too windy. We had 40-mile-an-hour gusts today, so they couldn't spray today. Tomorrow says 10 to 15-mile-an-hour winds, so we'll see if they get it done tomorrow or not. Friday looks like pretty calm, like 5 miles an hour. So if they don't do it tomorrow, they'll definitely do it on Friday. But it looks like, from what I saw, the wind's supposed to calm down tonight, through the night, and then pick up later in the day tomorrow. So I'm hoping they can get out right away in the morning, get it sprayed. That would be ideal, because then we can start incorporating that and start planning tomorrow night. So I'm going to go grab the tractor and and I'm sick, by the way. I feel awful. So I didn't get out here. It's a little late. I went home and had dinner with the family and decided to come back out here. So I backed the planter in there, try and get a few things done on it and get it ready, and hopefully we can start planting tomorrow. The 3-point arms settle, so I always put blocks underneath it. That way it keeps not much room, but it keeps the units from resting on the ground. And I'm pretty sure that's why this unit is bent. If you look, you can see number 1 is bent. That's the new unit I have to replace that. Alright, well, we're to the point where I need to put this new gear I bought from Shoop in the transmission. So what I'm doing here is, this transmission, we have the option of planting 32,000. The next jump up from that is 36,000. So we've wanted to try 34,000 out here because we think our ground's heavy enough to support 34,000 and try and pick up a little extra yield from that. So in order to do that, I need to change this gear. This gear right here, this little guy, is a 714. There's 14 teeth, but on these sprockets there's only 7 driven, so they call it a 714. This one, there's not a lot of use for it if you're planting corn and soybeans. So I'm going to take that gear out and put this is a 1020. Okay, so we will have, this is your driven, right? It comes from the wheels. The wheels have a chain that comes up, drives a shaft over here, and then drives the bottom end of the transmission. So this is your driver gear set here. This is your driven gear set here. So the driver will be this 1326. Will be the driver, and the driven will be this new 1020. And that should give us right about 34,000 population. So I'm going to pull this shaft out up here and pull that gear out, put the new one in that spot, and then I got some new chains. I'll throw those chains on. I figured I'd have a little trouble with the shaft trying to get it out. So first I took the couplers off of this side and tried to shove it this way with this still coupled, and so you have to shove it through the hanger bearings down there. Well, it was moving through the hanger bearings fine. You just loosen up the bolts, you flop, and then you can get the shaft through there. But that one is stuck and I can't get it loose at all. So I came back and took off the coupler on this side and tried to shove the shaft through this way. So that's seeming to work, and I took this hanger bearing off and I can move this shaft out of the way enough that I can just slide it past. So that's going to be a lot easier, but I got all the way up to the edge and you can kind of see that shiny part right on the end of that shaft. There's a little burr there and it won't go through the bearing. So I just got myself a little piece of emery cloth. I'm going to clean that edge up real good, and then we should be able to shove it out and pop these gears off and change that guy out. Alright, well, there it is. I put 2 spacers over here, and then I put 1 spacer between the big one and the little one, or the new one, like I said I was going to, and that all looks good. This project, I just got to put the shafts back in, tighten some bolts up, and this project's done. I can move on to finishing the fertilizer opener and adjusting one of the wheels. Just a few more things to do on this planter, and it should be done. Good morning. Well, I forgot to record an intro, so it's actually 1 o'clock now. And it's Friday, May 1st. I took the day off of work to come out because it's a beautiful day. It was overcast this morning, but now it's sunny. It's supposed to get up to like 75 today. It is kind of windy this afternoon though, and the wind's supposed to pick up. Luckily, they were able to get here this morning and spray. I'll show you that here soon. Then I sent Dad out to start incorporating that nitrogen, and our neighbor, he came over. He's out picking some rock. I went out and picked up the couple big ones I needed. I got some footage of that too. And what else is going on? I'm working on the planter right now, and hopefully if everything goes right, Dad will be done working that field in a couple hours here, and I'll be done with the planter in a couple hours here, and we can get started putting seed in the ground. So now, stay tuned for the video I recorded from earlier. That's now, you'll see later. Alright, so this is our neighbor's 190 tractor. We rent it from him in the spring for a day or two to pick rock. So it's a rock picker. I don't know why it's got so many weeds growing around it. Looks like it hasn't moved in years, but I swear we use it every year. And you wouldn't know looking at our fields as many rock as we have. I'm going to finish hooking this up, get it pulled over, get it greased, oil the chains, all that good stuff, and then we'll go out and pick some rock. they're out here on my last field, pickers spraying, so that's exciting to be able to get going this afternoon. I think they're putting on 40 gallon of 32%, and then my pre-emerge chemicals. That's backing up. He's turning around here. There we go. Perfect. I came and sprayed our fields this morning, so Dad's going to go out and work, incorporate the nitrogen, and I'm going to go out and reset it. We don't need to work it very deep, so I'm going to go reset the depth. I'm going to fuel them up here first. Alright, so we got the new shank in there. I was putting it back together and I realized the bottom parallel arm here is bent. So I went over to my buddy's, he just stripped some off of another planter, so I got one of those. I'm going to replace that quick, and hopefully this unit then sits level along with the other units. Think it's bent a little? I'd say, look at the gap. This side's on the ground. Look at the gap over here. Alright, so this row unit's starting to look like a row unit again. Look at that paint, it's all shiny. So we got a new row unit, a new used lower parallel arm, and the cotter key was broke off in that spring holder, so I put a new one of those in, and we've just got, see, I think everything on top is put back together now. I just need to put on the Keaton, then the openers, then the gauge wheels, and the closing wheels, and we should have everything back together on this row. Then I just got to go through a couple more fertilizer openers, that one in particular back there, and adjust the gauge wheels on this row. There's a big, I don't know if you can see, I can fit my fingers between the openers and the gauge wheels. That's not good. They should be tight. So see, like here, I can't get my fingers in there. There's a small gap. That's how they should be. So those need adjusted, and then if you look, this fertilizer opener is off. It's like exactly in line with the row for some odd reason. It must have slid. So I need to loosen that and slide it over straight, because we don't want our nitrogen right on our seed. We want it 2 inches over. So I got to slide that over. See, all these others they're right in line with each other, and these ones are right in line with each other, but these ones are offset for some odd reason. And it's this guy on this side. He's wrong. I measured him. So I will move him over, and then I think after that I just need to grease the planter, oil some chains, and we'll be ready as we can be with this 40-year-old planter. And hopefully it'll be its last season. I don't know. We'll see. who knows? The way the markets are, I might have to plant with it for another couple years, but hopefully not. So, well, we're incorporating. I'm just running it 2 inches, inch and a half deep, not very deep at all. We're actually running pretty fast, running about 7 up the hill and about 7 down the hill. So, not really pulling hard. We're just kind of, just want to work that top, get that nitrogen worked in. So we're not really trying to work the ground. Well, it's about 10:30 p.m. I'm still incorporating nitrogen. The wind is out of the south, so when I'm headed north, I can't see pretty much anything behind me. But I'm running about 8 miles an hour. I mean, we're not working very deep at all. We're just kind of, we're not really tilling the soil. We're just moving it around, incorporating the nitrogen. So I pulled in here just before 10 o'clock. I should be done around midnight. Then I'll go and pull this, the auto steer out of this tractor and move it over to the planter tractor. And I got just a couple things to touch up on the planter yet, and it'll be ready to go. So I'll probably just, once I get done with this field, I'll probably go home and get a little sleep and do that right away in the morning.